my life doesn't start so well. My mom was a teen when she had me. It wasn't easy for her to have a kid at that age. So right after I was born,
Congratulations, ma'am.
I was handed to the orphanage.
One moment, please.
That might sound sad, but life was quite good at there. I was only adopted now that I'm 14. A rich man adopts me along with 5 other kids.
Hi.
Hello?
But I'm happy. I adapt easily no matter what life throws in my way. That's probably the reason why I knew I should act like nothing was wrong at my new home, even though everything was wrong. First of all, some mirrors don't show reflections, but you never know which, they are random. Then there's this terrible stench coming from Dad's room. It was poorly disguised by the scents of flowers and oils. The maid said it's Dad's taxidermy workshop. I never asked too many questions about it, because I don't know what creepy truth I would have to face. The maids are really nice and accommodating for us kids. They spend the day preparing our favorite meals, and the night. They are helping Dad at his workshop. He's a businessman, so he's never home during daytime, only for dinner. Then he spends the night crafting his beloved taxidermies. Thinking back now, I don't think anyone in the house ever sleeps, except for myself and my siblings. It's been a few weeks since the adoption now. One night, the youngest of us asked Dad,
Daddy, why the mirrors have no reflexes?
Then he gently said,
I only have one rule here. No questions for Dad.
Mere few minutes later, she asked him about the smell coming from his room.
Daddy, what is that smell coming from your room?
Dad didn't say anything. He just pulled out his phone and made a call. On the next morning, she was gone. The maid said that she didn't adapt to life on the house, and the adoption was canceled. After that, the remaining 5 of us were careful around Dad, as long as we followed this one rule, and we did. He was the kindest person in the world. He was funny, attentive, and always wanted to solve our every problem. Dad talked excitedly about Mom for days, how she was traveling but couldn't wait to meet us, and how we were all going to love her. And when we finally got the chance to meet her, she was a creepy-looking doll, a life-size doll, like an ugly Barbie. Her head is too big with pale yellow nylon hair, her eyes is too large with unnaturally light blue, and her enormous lips perpetually pouting. Her body was clearly made of hard plastic and segmented in the joints with horribly long legs and arms and waist way too slender. She was already sat by the table on the first night, immobile.
Go, give your mother a hug.
Dad said. Awkwardly, all of us hugged the cold, stationary plastic, her arms not embracing us at all. Then we sat down to eat. One of the maids fed the doll, letting the soup run down from her tightly closed, oversized lips. My siblings and I were all incredibly uncomfortable, until one of my brothers broke the heavy silence.
Dad, I'm so sorry, but is Mother a doll?
Cold electric fear coursed through my stomach. No questions for Dad.
David, come here.
Dad calmly asked. No one dared to breathe except for the maids, who went about their activities like the atmosphere wasn't eerie. They almost seemed to be having fun, although their faces stay the same. My brother approached Dad. Dad just stared at him. He didn't move a muscle, and my brother's eyes suddenly exploded. The sound sounded like a balloon bursting. He fell to the ground. All of us froze for a few seconds, but it feels like hours have passed. When we finally snapped back to reality, the kids screamed. Mother's face was emotionless, with her large plastic unblinking eyes, making it even creepier. Suddenly, Dad got up.
You'll all do well to follow the one rule. Maid, take the boy to the doctor.
Yes, Master.
I haven't seen my brother since then. I keep telling myself that he's being treated at a good hospital. But of course, things got worse. Dad started demanding things. We have to spend time with Mother doing bonding activities like sunbathing, gardening, but they all went horribly. During sunbathing, her plastic chest started to melt. On gardening, she lost one of her plastic fingers. None of the maids were able to make her perform tasks like she was a person, because heck, she's not. Ever since Mother arrived, things have been harder. We have to hug her the whole time, eating breakfast with her, help her choose her outfits, do outdoors activities with her, and sometimes even carry her to the dinner table. I swear to God I tried so hard to adapt to this life. But this is just too much for a kid. Just last night, I saw something horrible, something enough to traumatize me for the rest of my life. I woke up feeling hungry in the middle of the night. I decided to head downstairs to the kitchen. I didn't turn on any lights and avoided making noise, because I was afraid to be found by something I wouldn't want to. My oldest sister apparently decided to go for a late night snack as well. I was going to make some small talk when I realized she wasn't alone. A larger figure was with her, gleaming faintly in the dark. She was having some mother and daughter bonding time. This fact was creepy on its own, but as my eyes adjusted to the dim light, I realized what my sister was eating. It was a large piece of raw meat. She was devouring it like a beast, drooling her face in blood. The doll's mouth was stained with blood as well, and for the first time, I saw some movement coming from it. It was chewing and blinking. My adrenaline rushed in. My instinct told me to run, but my feet was too shaky. When I finally calmed down, I left the horrible scene as slowly and quietly as I could. When I returned to my room, I got a panic attack. I had no idea if they saw me or not. Am I gonna die? It took me a long time to fall asleep again. When the sun was already bright outside, I woke up. Things feel so off today. My siblings look sickish, and the stench that permeates the house is somewhat different. My oldest sister didn't join the rest of us for lunch. Neither did the doll. I asked the maids about them. You can ask the maids anything. They never get mad, but sometimes they don't answer at all.
Your mother is out shopping. And your sister Sarah? Oh, she was granted access to your dad's workshop. She must be there.
I have been so overwhelmed with the doll, so I completely forgot about the mysterious workshop and all the other odd stuff in this house. The maid continued.
That reminds me. Your mother left a note for you.
She invited me for a little alone bonding time over a meal. Just the two of us, tonight. This may be the end for me.